Wow, look at those absolutely gorgeous mountains. This is just a beautiful day. So I thought I would do a short hike today. There's actually a couple of easily accessible arches, and they're a short drive away, so I figured I'm going to drive over there and do a really short hike. So yeah, all right, let's go. This is the Arch Loop Trail, and there's a couple of arches here, but the trail itself is just really beautiful. The mountains are here. It's incredible. And there's some beautiful little surprises tucked into the rocks if you just look. This is the Mobius Arch, and off in the distance there is Mount Whitney. Yeah, wow. I just never know what to say. Oh, it's beautiful, it's wonderful, and it's awesome. The rocks here look very smooth from far away, but when you get up close, they're actually really rough and coarse. And you wouldn't want to fall like even 5 feet onto one of these rocks. I'm doing this trail, the Arch Loop Trail, and it's about 2.5 or 3 miles. And I was looking for this one Alabama arch, and I think this is it behind me. But I'm way off the trail now. I don't. It's the trail doesn't really go close to it, so I don't know. I hope this is it. We drove up Whitney Portal Road a little ways until we couldn't go any further, and it's just incredibly beautiful. Mount Whitney is right there, and it's considerably colder here than it was down in the valley. But I have to show you Mount Whitney right now. This is just too much. The road getting up here has a couple rocks on it, so you probably don't want to do this drive unless you've, unless you're very, very careful at least. I love that crunch. The crunch of snow under my feet. So I was just about to go for a walk. I came over here because there's this gully with some really beautiful rocks. But I just happened to see this thing sticking out of a rock that's man-made, looks like a gear or something, I can't quite tell. And then I looked and there's all sorts of like cement, like holdings for like pieces of wood, slats of wood or something. So obviously at some point in time somebody had built up something right here. And then I noticed basically right over here there's, you know, this kind of wash that goes down into the gully, and it's just full of like trash. It's just full of cans and all sorts of stuff. I'm just guessing, but it looks like it sometime a long time ago this could have been part of a mining operation of some sort. Like maybe they would get water from down in the gully when it was running, bring it up here and then use it to sift out whatever they're mining for. Could have been gold, but who knows. This is mining country right here, so. But I was going to do a walk down in this gully just because the rocks are so beautiful down here. It's really sad, but a lot of people do treat this as kind of like a wasteland where they bring up their trash and then they shoot it with their guns and then just leave everything behind. Usually it's cans and bottles, but I've seen all sorts of trash with bullet holes in it, like a shock from a car and just all sorts of stuff. And the other night, on like Saturday night, a bunch of townies came up not too far from where I was camped and had like a huge party with a big bonfire, and the next morning the place was just strewn with cans and a smoldering fire, and the place is just covered in broken glass. I mean, it's just absolutely covered in broken glass. You can't camp there now, so it's just disappointing when yeah, this place basically there's no patrols. You're not going to get busted out here. It's truly the Wild West. A few of the fun things to do here is either to go for a hike or go for a walk up in the rocks, which is absolutely beautiful, or to go for a slow drive. Driving around these roads is really amazing. I just came across what looks like a water fountain from like who knows when. I don't know, it could have just been a water storage thing. Someone scratched in the cement at the base 1888. I don't know if that's accurate or not, but you find little things like this around here. Yeah, it's just fun going for a drive. The rocks around here are just endlessly fascinating. One of these rock formations you see a lot of are these rocks embedded inside of other rocks, and they're always in this straight line. And if you look, they're volcanic rock. So obviously there's these layers where volcanoes went off, and some of them were very small eruptions and some were huge to make really deep deposit of lava. But you see these all over there. It's really cool. Right here is one of my favorite rock formations where there's the different layers of rocks. There's this a very thick volcanic layer of rock here, and then another smaller layer over here, and it creates this perfect path. It's almost as if somebody had put these rocks here to create a path, except that the path doesn't go anywhere. It just dead ends into this really tiny little wash here. But yeah, it looks really cool. And this line of rocks goes right off into the distance. This out here is largely the set of Tremors. It's where a huge part of Tremors was filmed. And when you're driving through, you can kind of picture Kevin Bacon pole vaulting from rock to rock out here. You can see some of those rocks over there and you're like, are those the rocks? Just out for another quick drive and got to get these gratuitous rock shots in. It's, I don't know, just shooting tons and tons of video of just, hey, this rock looks better than the last rock, or this rock is great. Somewhere over here is where they filmed the Afghanistan scenes in Iron Man. This is where Tony Stark blew everything up. One of the really sad things is seeing how little snow is on the peaks. If you look at pictures from 10 or 20 years ago, basically the top 2,000 feet of these peaks, you can barely see any rock at all. It's just completely white. And right now, of course, there's hardly any snow up there at all. Can you find my tiny camper? The sun has just gone down. Actually, it went down on the other side of the mountains a good half an hour ago. But then on the east side over here, you actually watch the light, or the shadow go up the mountain on the east side. So you kind of watch the sun go down twice every day. It's pretty cool. But yeah, now I'm going to make a feast. I've got all sorts of veggies and I got some eggs. I'm gonna make some kind of veggie scramble. So it's gonna be awesome. It's a feast. But tonight's my last night, so I'm leaving tomorrow. Yeah, I hope it was interesting for you. It was a lot of fun for me. The driving is fun, so. But it's going to start getting pretty cold. It gets down to about 40 at night, so it's chilly, but beautiful.